Welcome to Hyperion Gaming. I'm Hyperion, and today's video is all about the top 5 open field marches for Rise of Kingdoms. Now, we're looking more at KVK. I wouldn't recommend this so much for Ark of Osiris. So with that said, also keep in mind that these marches, or any set of marches, must be micromanaged properly. If you can't micromanage, you're not going to get good results. It doesn't matter how good your tech is or your gear or whatever, you must be able to micromanage when you're out doing open field fighting. So let's jump into these top 5 marches, starting with number 5, a very common and very successful march, which I also recommend, is going to be Rameses and YSG. Great skill damage, great AoE. It's a little slow, but when it does get there, it deals a massive punch. So I highly recommend them. You can switch Rameses out with Nebu if you'd like. I've tried it, it doesn't seem to give me the same results, but if you find one works better for you, then obviously tweak it to your liking. After this, number 4, I would recommend Guan Yu and CJ. Now you can switch CJ out as well with, I don't know, Alex or Leo if you'd like. Alex will give you more march speed, and Leo is more tanky, gives you more sustain. But with these 5 marches, you're going to have 2 tanks. So I would recommend CJ. He's going to give you way more punch. He's going to give you way more skill damage. And I've had better results using him over the other 2, Alex or Leo. After that, number 3, Colin and Harold. Now this one might be a little bit of a controversy, but hear me out later in the video and you'll understand why I'm using 2 tanks. This guy is going to give you great sustain. Pakal is very tough. And then Harold is going to give you a lot of damage, especially when you're swarmed. You really want him to be swarmed, and the way you play, the way you micromanage on the field, you'll set him up to be swarmed. So after this, we're going to look at number 2, XY and William. You can switch XY out with Saladin if you'd like, but the best build is going to be with XY and not Saladin. 2 reasons. XY gives you AoE where Saladin doesn't, and XY is going to debuff the enemy where Saladin, he debuffs him, but he gives him slower march speed, which is great, don't get me wrong. But what we're talking more about is less chasing somebody and more like a murder ball. So with that, we want XY. And then number 1, my top pick, Takeda and Takeda. A lot of people would disagree with this, and I understand their logic, but hear me out. The reason you want Takeda and Takeda is similar to number 3, Pakal and Harold. And when we get into the discussion to, micromanaging it, then hopefully you'll understand. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into that now. When you're approaching a murder ball or you're walking up to a field fight, you're going to have your tanks in the front. So you got Attila, Takeda, and you got Colin, Harold, and then you're going to have your DPS behind them. When you are fighting, you have to micromanage to where you focus less on your tanks and you keep your DPS out of trouble. They start to get targeted, you pull them back. You don't do that with your tanks. You just let them be out there. Don't let them get far, don't let them chase somebody across the map, but you don't pull them back so much. And the reason being is Attila and Takeda and Pakal and Harold, they thrive being swarmed. Sure, they might die, they might get swarmed down, but that's not bad. Don't let someone tell you that getting a frowning face is bad. When you look at your report, which I have numerous times after being swarmed down with them, you're going to have positive traits. As long as you're taking more than they are of yours, then you're doing good. You want to send more to the hospital for them than they can do you. So watch your reports, and as long as that is true, keep using them. Now, if you're not getting positive trades, then change your strategy up. But if you've got everything in line, your tech, your gear, etc., then continue to do it that way. Let your tanks kind of float a little bit in front and have your DPS, a little bit more tighter control. Hit when no one's hitting them, and then when they get targeted, pull them back. Pull your tanks back second. Don't let them be the first to come back, and don't pull them all back at the same time. And if you follow that strategy, you're going to get great results. Well, this one ran longer than I intended, so I'm going to end it here. But I would love to see anyone's comments. If something doesn't make sense or they just disagree, please let me know. Also, if you would please subscribe and like this video, I would appreciate it. It's free for you and it means everything to me. I hope this helps everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.